As I always say, the entire planet is the African kingdom, but the continent is the royal palace, and Ghana is the royal throne.
And Ghana is the royal throne. Undoubtedly.
I think Ghana's uniqueness lies in the fact that the culture is very
my channel to see if everybody's gonna me in the building. So guys, we're here with another amazing video. I saw this video and I decided to come and share it here with my subscribers to see that Ghana is actually going global, to see that there is something people are coming here to Ghana to achieve.
A lot of people are coming down here to Ghana to gain their citizenship, and right now Dr. Umar Johnson also is a Ghanaian. He just gained the citizenship here some days ago here in Ghana, so right now he's a full Ghanaian. And for those that don't know Dr. Umar Johnson is a motivational speaker, an activist, and a psychologist. I have always been one of the person that talks about blacks and Pan-Africanism. So he talks more about Pan-Africanism, and he has traveled to different African countries in the world, even Nigeria. He also has a Nigerian name. Right now he has a Ghanaian. Let's watch what he came down here to do in Ghana. Let's watch how it went down, the interviews he granted when he came down here to Ghana. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, please.
And then COVID hit, and I normally did a group trip, and we came to Ghana almost every year from 2014 to 2019. So my ancestors was like, we ain't seen him in 5 years, so I had to get back over here. So when the opportunity arose for me to become a dual citizen of Ghana, something that I never thought would happen, I had to jump at it. So this is a 1820, the American Colonization Society sent 89 free Africans to Sierra Leone. It was the first organized immigration effort from the United States. And that happened today, 205 years ago. So I don't think that is a coincidence. You know, repatriation is central to Pan-Africanism. And me being a Pan-Africanist, I think this is just another step in the right direction. I believe that the 21st century is the century of Pan-Africanism. It's time for all of us around the diaspora to join forces, to lock horns, and put being African first. We put our religion above being African for the longest time. We put our professional affiliations above being African for the longest time. We put our tribal and ethnic affiliations above being African for the longest time. And now it's time to be African first and everything else second. So I thank the government. I thank the outgoing president, because this was an initiative of his, the Office of Diaspora Affairs. Without that, this would have never happened. So thank you, sir, for the wonderful work you did. And I'm sure that Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, is smiling down from heaven to see Dr. Umar earning his citizenship today.
I can see how ecstatic and over the moon you are. In your opinion, what do you think the future hold in terms of diaspora, integration? Ghana had the year of return in 2019, and now we have beyond the return, and now there's a citizenship. What do you think the future hold in terms of the diaspora integration?
Well, it's interesting you asked that, because early in the 1800s, the 19th century, most of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism saw Liberia as the promised land for Pan-Africanism. So when we look at the Honorable Marcus Garvey, when we look at Henry Highland Garnett, when we look at Alexander Crummell, most of them saw Liberia, Edward Wilmot Blyden, they saw Liberia as the promised land for Pan-Africanism. But since the independence of Ghana, March 6, 1957, with Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, there was a transitioning from Liberia to Ghana as the new home for Pan-Africanism. And to your question, this citizenship initiative, this year of return initiative, it's going to bring a lot of Africans in the diaspora back home. Not just the American Africans, but we can't forget the Central American Africans. There was slavery there. We can't forget the South American Africans, Suriname and Brazil. There was slavery there. We can't even forget our Canadian African brothers and sisters. There was slavery there, although it ended before the States. And of course, throughout the Caribbean, we can't forget them, because you have just as many Africans in the Caribbean collectively as you have in the United States. So when I speak for the entire African diaspora. Let's not forget the ones in Australia, because they even had a slavery there. So when we talk about coming back home, we're coming back home from all around the world. As I always say, the entire planet is the African kingdom, but the continent is the royal palace, and Ghana is the royal throne.
And Ghana is the royal throne. Undoubtedly, Ghana is the gateway to Africa, and we'd like to say you are welcome. We'd like to say...
Well, number one, I have ancestry from Ghana.
Okay.
Number two, Ghana is the modern home of Pan-Africanism. And number three, I love being here.
You love being here?
I love being in Ghana.
How many African countries have you been so far?
Approximately 17.
Wow. Do you see any differences?
More similarities than differences, without question. I think Ghana's uniqueness lies in the fact that the culture is very much celebrated here, is very much on display. You do not have to look for it. In many African countries, you have to search for the culture. In Ghana, you don't have to search for the culture. It is widely represented and advertised.
How does Pan-African means to you?
Pan-Africanism can be summed up in 3 simple points. Of course, it's much deeper, much more comprehensive, but for the sake of time, we sum it up in 3 points. Number 1, all members of the African race constitute a single family. We should identify on the level of being family first. To be a Pan-Africanist means being African is more important than any other thing I belong to. Being African is more important than my religion. It's more important than my tribe. It's more important than my professional associations. The Africanism always comes first. Number 2, as Africa goes, so goes all African people. So the reason that we struggle in the Americas, we struggle in Europe, we struggle in the Caribbean, we struggle in Central and South America and Australia, because Africa is not as strong as we need to help her become so she can look out for us. As Africa goes, so goes all of her scattered Black children. Number 3, self-determination. Whatever is to be done for African people must be done by African people alone. We must learn to work and build alone. We must cut the umbilical cord from our colonizers, from our enslavers, and understand that everything we need to repair Africa and African people is inside of us. We need nothing outside of us.
How do we bridge the gap together?
I don't think it's that difficult. I think what keeps us apart is the ignorance. It is the fear. We are afraid.
I'm not going to be playing the full video of this here on my channel because I got this video from Epic It's Worse. If you want to watch the full video, please head down to his channel, Epic It Worse, on YouTube, and you'll see the full video of the interview he granted with Dr. Umar Johnson. I've always been saying this here. There are people that are true Pan-Africanists and they love it here in Africa, and they're always agitating for Africans to be one. They always want unity in Africa, and these people, wherever they go to, they keep representing Africa. Just look at the likes of Dr. Umar. He's an activist, is a Black activist. He talks about Pan-Africanism. He's a psychologist and he's a motivational speaker. And he has traveled to different African countries, and he is here in Ghana, and he got his citizenship here in Ghana. And ever since then, a lot has changed because he said Ghana is deep-rooted when it comes to culture. The only difference he has seen in Ghana and the other African countries is how Ghanaians hold on to their culture, that their culture is highly respected and it is totally different from the other African countries he has traveled to. So when I tell you guys that if you've been to Ghana, you would know how welcoming these people are. You would know how they respect their culture, how they respect themselves, how they tend to lay good example to different African countries. And that is the reason why you see the likes of a lot of people coming down here to Ghana to reside, to start up their businesses. Some days ago, I shared a video about Americans gaining citizenship here in Ghana, and I was totally shocked that how can Americans want to be African? How can they, where did they get the idea from of they wanting to be Ghanaian? You see, when I tell you that Ghanaians keep representing, their good behavior is speaking up for them. And I'll keep on saying this, good name is better than riches. If you watch this video until this point and you have not subscribed, Charlie, please smash that subscribe button for me. Please like this video and share with your family and friends. And please don't forget to turn on the post notification so you can get notified whenever Mami Equia posts amazing content. And to all my amazing returning subscribers, may that say, and to all those that just seeing this channel, this face for the very first time, Akwaba, please don't forget to like, comment and share. See you guys in the next one. Bye.